Hey everyone, welcome to episode 301, Destination Addiction 101. Welcome to the Harmony in the Home podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Hutchison. I'm a counselor, a life coach, and most importantly, an imperfect mom doing this work right along with you. And my goal on our podcast is to go from chaos to calm, feel less frazzled, and have more fun within your four walls to have more harmony in your home. Hey everyone, so I cannot believe we surpassed 300 episodes. That is 300 weeks of just figuring out this parenting gig, managing our house, and having harmony in our home. And I am so excited to do this with you because as we know, this is a journey, not a destination, and we are in this for the long run. Before we start today's episode on the topic of choice, I want to talk to you about a new sponsor. And I talked about this sponsor a couple weeks ago when I did sleep hygiene, which life-changing. When you're not sleeping, I'm not able to function properly the next day. It's almost like I've had too much to drink and I feel like wobbly and woozy all day long. Like I just feel off. And the greatest thing that has helped me sleep is my Oslo earbuds. And so I reached out to Oslo and they said that they would sponsor our show. I was like, what? Our little show you're going to sponsor? Thank you, Oslo. So they gave us a customized link. You go to oslosleep.com/best sleep ever. Isn't that a cute link? I'm going to put it in the show notes and I'm going to put it in the email and the different Facebook posts too. So click that link. And now they aren't cheap, I will have to say. However, what I did when I got them is they have a payment plan where there's no interest. You just pay $20 a month until they're paid off. But there's no interest or financing or anything like that. And I'm telling you, these things, they go into my ears and they fit like hearing aids. So they fit and they contour. It's almost like when I'm going to bed, I feel like I'm a musician. You ever seen that where those earpieces like on stage or like on American Idol, and then they pull it out so they can hear? The earbuds themselves fit into my ear, because I'm a side sleeper, like a glove, okay? I don't know why I'm talking like that. And then I'm able to sleep on my side. I don't even know they're there. So they're noise cancellation earbuds that go into your ear. You barely know that they're even there. And then you can stream music, you can stream meditation sounds, you can stream white noise, you can stream whatever you want through the app or through YouTube or Spotify or the different, whatever app you want. And I am telling you, once you put them in your ear, if David says goodnight to me and I have those in my ears without any sound playing, I can't hear him. I might hear, I'm like, oh, I have my earbuds and I can't hear. I have my Oslos and I can't hear you. These things, I always think of like, okay, what would I share with all of you if there was a fire, which is not the greatest way to talk, but we always say like, if there was a fire, what would you take with you other than the dogs and the kids and the family, all that stuff. These Oslos, now it's just a figure of speech. I'm not going to grab the Oslos when I'm fighting for my life, but I'm just trying to show you the importance of them because my sleep has improved so dramatically because of these, because I've done sleep studies. I have like done the gamut. I have worked the gamut or whatever that, I have tried it all, whatever that saying is. And I realized I am such a light sleeper that when David rolls over or he breathes or he clicks, like sometimes if he's laying on his back, like any noise whatsoever, or if the dogs are snoring, I wake up. And then I wake up and I almost like panic because I'm awake. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm awake. It's 2 a.m. Oh my gosh, my alarm's going to go off at 5. That means I only have 3. And then I start to like panic. I've done lots of things where I've hidden the clock. I've done lots of things because I realize what's happening with my mind because falling asleep is not a problem. It's staying asleep. I'm like a toddler and I'm literally saying out loud to my sisters and my family, and I slept through the night, you guys. And it's been like that for months since I got these Oslos. So I can't say enough of good things about them. I was using them and loving them way before they agreed to sponsor the show. And so anyway, go get them at the link. And that is your way of putting a tip in the tip jar. So today's episode, we're talking about Destination Addiction 101. Now, I talked about this in an earlier episode, probably in the teens and 20s. Don't quote me, but what destination addiction is, and I see so many people falling prey to this, and I find myself falling prey to this too, is destination refers to the belief that happiness and success are found only in the future, leading to a constant pursuit of the next goal or destination without appreciating the present. So a lot of times we think like, I will feel better when I'm at a different weight. I have more money in the bank. My kids are older. My kids are younger. I have kids. I don't have kids. I'm married. I'm not married. I'm divorced. Whatever it is, when I build that business, I will have the happily ever after moment. And I am here to remind you and to remind myself that no matter what stage we're in, whether we're building a business or the business has achieved, whether we're trying to have kids or the kids are here, or we're trying to get married or we already are married, or we're trying to get divorced and we're going through the divorce and the divorce happens. No matter what stage you are in the beginning of that trial or tribulation or on the other side of it, or you're from the middle of the river of misery, whatever stage you're at in that journey, because everything is a journey, there is no destination. We think that we're going to feel better when we're on vacation because guess what? Whenever you go on vacation, you still bring yourself and you bring your feelings and you bring your emotions. If we don't know how to manage our emotions when we're going through the hard times, those emotions just follow us when we're laying on the beach in the Bahamas. Now, they might be a little lighter and softer, but wherever you go, there you are. And so when we realize how to process the tricky emotions and appreciate the 50-50 and know that it's 50-50, whether you're on the beach or you're going through divorce or you're trying to build a business, whatever stage you're at, it's still going to suck a little and it's going to be awesome a little. Like Glennon says, it's going to be beautiful and brutal all at once. It's going to be brutal. And so I am about to play something for you that you are not prepared for. I was literally listening to TikTok and I have it on picture-in-picture mode, so it just plays automatically. And so I was getting ready and listening to, and all of a sudden this popped in. And I am telling you, there were immediate tears. It evoked such emotion in my body. And I was just listening to Funny Cats, the TikTok before. That's the crazy thing about TikTok or Reels or anything. Whenever I go on there, I am like ready for the roller coaster ride. I am laughing so hard at the reporter who can't stop laughing and holding it in. And then I'm bawling my eyes out over things like this. And so I'm putting a trigger warning on this, that this might evoke some emotions. My sisters and I, whenever we send things to each other and it has anything to do with grief or our dad or anything like that might be something like is going to trigger you or like bring up some emotions, we just put TW, hashtag TW. So like you mentally prepare and like you're going in for it. It's kind of like when you're going to a scary movie, like I'm going to be scared out of my mind right now. Or you go into a sad movie, like, oh, I can't wait to cry during this movie. This movie, you prepare yourself for that. So that's what TW means. And so I'm putting a little TW on this because it might evoke some emotions. So Adi, I'm going to play it just so I have it fresh in my mind, but this is, you can play the fresh version in the notes.
I've been waiting for my life to begin since the beginning, and I still don't feel like it has. Every day feels like I'm one step away from starting, as I get closer and closer to the end. And I picture a version of me who's already done it all, long gone and in the clouds, watching me from above and yelling at the top of her lungs, "It started. Use every minute. You've already begun. You have to believe me." And I don't know if I'm waiting for a switch to flip or a light to turn on or a letter in the mail to let me know that this is it. This has been it. It's happening now. But I always feel one step behind the beginning. If I just graduate, if I just get that first job, if I just get promoted, if I just find my soulmate, once I'm married, once we have children, once those children are grown and gone, then I will begin. But I know one day I'll look back and realize every stepping stone to what I thought was the start were new beginnings each and every time. I was waiting for a train I was already on. It was just moving so fast it felt like it wasn't moving at all. And I never needed it to start. I actually needed it to slow down so I could take it all in. And I wonder sometimes if I just don't want to believe it has started, because I just can't bear the thought that it ends. I'm digging my heels in, but the ground is moving like the ones at the airport. There's no use putting it off. And I think once I'm ready to admit it, I will realize that things I've achieved, well, they are remarkable. I'm in the thick of it, the product of a million beginnings. All of my accomplishments are mine, and I can claim them. I'm allowed. And one day all of my dawns will dawn on me. It would be such a shame, though, if it happened at the very end.
Okay, girl, be so for real. That's what Lily always says to me when I'm annoying her. She's like, girl, be so for real. So now I say it to her. I'm like, girl, be so for real. You're really going to put your shoes over here? Like, girl, be so for real. Are you kidding me? That is from Josie Balka's TikTok, which literally just listening to it is making me cry again. And I think it's because I was waiting for life to begin when we were in our infertility journey and waiting and waiting and praying and tests and miscarriages. And it just kept going on and on and on. For 6 years, it just felt like this never ending cycle of just misery. And then finally Lily was born. And then I was so unhappy and I was so stressed all the time. I'm like, but wait, what's happening? And I couldn't figure it out because of the struggle that we had gone through. This is through hindsight, because of the struggle we had gone through. And it was quote unquote my fault, according to the doctors, which it was. Nobody else made me feel like it was my fault, but the pressure and stress that I put on myself, that I felt so guilty. And I carried that into my parenting, that I felt so guilty that I had put the family through this, like not only the immediate family, but like so many people were praying for us. And so to feel like a burden almost, because I was making so many people so sad. And finally, we have this miracle baby. And in the back of my mind, I was saying over and over and over, and I didn't even know I was saying it, Kelly, you can't mess this up. Oh, I'm getting emotional thinking about it now. I didn't even know that it was even happening. So I was parenting from this fear-based place the entire time. And that's why I was so stressed out all the time, because I was parenting from so much fear and anxiety of not wanting to mess it up. And I had so much support and so much love and so much reassurance. It was all self-imposed. There was not one human that said one inappropriate thing to me during those 6 years. And I was so humbled by all the love. And so when Lily was finally here, I put all this pressure on myself and on her unconsciously to be the perfect mom. I had to have the perfect parties. I had to get the perfect car seat. I remember shopping for the car seat at Babies R Us. And the man was trying to help me, and he was being nice, and he was trying to help me gauge how much I should spend. And I remember we were upgrading to her toddler chair or toddler seat. That seems like so long ago. And I remember being in Babies R Us, and he said, if you care about safety, then you probably want to get these. And if you don't, if you're on a budget, then you probably want to get these. And I was like, well, clearly I got to get the one for $450 because I do care about safety. I couldn't figure out why I was so stressed and on eggshells all the time. And I figured it out that I had this unconscious fear of messing it up. So I was parenting from that fear-based place. And ironically, that's where I was messing it up. And that's why conscious parenting, the ego, learning about fear and learning about all of this that was wrapped up in what I was happening was so transformative for me, because I was like, oh, I could have had a V8. I just have to parent from love. And I have to allow the fear at the same time, but I don't have to live in the fear. I don't have to parent from that fear-based place. I have to help my daughter process her emotions. I have to teach her how to feel her emotions. And then when Grady came along, I had the same responsibility to do the same for him. So destination addiction was very powerful for me, because I was in that river of misery for so long. And then finally, my destination addiction, I was like, none of these feelings will be there when the kids arrive. And then they arrived and the feelings were still there, because I was experiencing 50-50, more like 90-10 of 90% misery and 10% joy trying to get pregnant. And then we finally had our baby, and I felt like the rainbows and sunshines and the unicorns were all floating around. And then I was like, why am I so stressed out and on eggshells all the time? What is happening? Why am I such a snappy mom? Why am I such a, the word that rhymes with rich? Like, why am I being so snappy to these kids? And I would never be snappy to my students or kids I was babysitting or my niece or nephew. Like, what is going on? I couldn't figure it out until I did. And that is how this podcast became. I started off doing parenting boot camps, and I was having so much fun doing that. And then I moved to the podcast. And here we are at episode 301, all thanks to you. I made this podcast about me and my journey, but substitute in infertility into your trauma or your stress or your unconscious thinking. And once you can chime into that and you can tune into that, whether it was a difficult relationship with a parent or a teacher or a counselor or an ex-husband, or messages that you had as a child, that you're bringing that trauma into your parenting, when you know that and you realize that, then you can have that awareness and detach from that. And it still is painful. It still doesn't erase the trauma, but you're not parenting from that fear-based, trauma-based place. And that is where it's true freedom. And then you're parenting from this place of love. And if you didn't have the parent that you needed when you were younger, you can be the parent that you needed when you were younger. And that is true freedom because you're actually reparenting yourself in the process. So I hope this awareness helps you. I hope Josie helps you. I hope this concept of destination addiction helps you. And I hope my story helps you as well. And it doesn't make it seem like I'm talking all about me, but I want to share my story so then you can substitute in your pain, your trauma, your stress, whether it was infertility, a difficult relationship with a parent, a difficult relationship with a sibling, an ex-husband, an ex-wife, an uncle, a grandma, a greedy grandpappy. Substitute that in, and that's where true freedom lives, because then you're parenting from so much love and not so much fear. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you next week for episode 302. What? Hey mamas, thanks for listening. If you had any ahas, clicks, or those lightning bolt moments while listening, you have to check out my free parenting bootcamp, where we take all of this to the next level and we try to create even more awakenings for ourselves so that we can connect more with our kids and never yell at them again. You can sign up at www.coachingkelly.com. And if you really want to fill up my love cup, send me an email of what your aha was, what your click was, what was that lightning bolt moment while you were listening. I want nothing more in life than for you to have harmony in your home and to learn how to be an imperfect mom like me, which allows your kids to be imperfect too, each and every day. Thanks for listening.